Alright, so if you know anything about the new Wranglers, one of the biggest features that people have been talking about are the new door hinges that they have. So the reason they put these in is because people like to keep their door open when they have it on. So it actually just stops it at various intervals, so that way the door doesn't swing back and slam shut on you. But you can see it's just like a normal car door. Now it may just be me, but this actually like bothers me so much. Any body style before the JLs never had this feature, and it didn't really bother anybody besides the JKs, because when you forgot to latch this piece here, or you went to take your door off, this door would actually swing and the mirror would dent this cowl piece. So you'll see a ton of JKs that have a plastic cover over this because they're actually trying to hide the dent from the mirror, and that's just one of the common things that happens on the JK. So they introduced this new door hinge to stop it from swinging all the way open and hitting that cowl piece, so that way you don't have to replace it or cover it or anything like that. Now the problem with this new piece is it just adds an extra bolt for you to take off, and it just adds a few more minutes just to take those bolts off specifically. Not only that, but you can see here it actually nicks your paint up. When you take that bolt out and you unhook all of this here, when you go around the outside of the door and you swing it shut, well, there's nothing holding this hinge back, so it stays pretty stiff and it slides right into the corner there. You can fix that fairly easily. If you had a little bit of clear mask, or what they call clear bra, that goes usually on the front of your vehicle, it just protects from rock chips and all sorts of dents and dings and things like that. You could actually put it right over that area, so that way when the door hinge bracket slides into that corner, it's just hitting the paint protection instead of hitting your paint and scratching it up. And the other thing that bothers me, and this is all personal preference, but when you take the top and the doors off, there's actually spots in the back here. This is to store the bolts for the door hinges, for the roof, and then for the windshield. As you can see, there are no extra spots for the bolts that hold those door hinge brackets in there. What I've been doing is I've just been leaving them in my center console, but a lot of people just put it back inside the threads and just leave it there. So today I'm going to take these doors apart, see if I can't get those brackets disassembled and off the Jeep. Can we just take a minute to appreciate the paint on this thing? It's no wonder so many people were coming up to me at the car show yesterday asking about the paint. I mean, this thing in the sunshine is absolutely gorgeous. So we're gonna go ahead and get these doors off and see if we can't get them apart to see how to take these damn hinges off. Now that I got everything apart, I was gonna show you guys real fast what I mean by this thing just stays still and slides into there. So you can see I actually took the bolt out of there, and I have my harness in the door. So when I let go of the door, you can see it just wants to slide. And since there's nothing to hold this back to go into the door, you can see it just wants to slide. And that's exactly where that nick is coming from. And you can see underneath there how much this bracket is chewing up my paint. And as much as I have my doors off and want to ride with my doors off, this is just one extra step I have to do every single time I want to put my doors on and off. And I never leave my T50s in unless it's the winter. But if I were to leave those hinges on, I'd have to take T50, this harness, and this off, and then you'd be able to slide it up. So it'll be quick and easy to take these doors off. And as much as I take these doors off, that will save me a lot of time and a lot of frustration. And an added bonus is I don't have to worry about the paint getting all nicked up and having to retouch that all the time. I just want to shout out to my buddy Alex at work. Him and I, mostly him, took the door apart to see if we actually could take these hinges apart, and he actually discovered that you could. So first things first, we have to actually get this panel, outside panel, off. There's a secondary panel on the inside that we also have to take off, but we're going to start with this. So pretty much all we need to take this door apart are a T30, a T20, and a 10mm socket. You can use a wrench, speed things up. Obviously you could just use an impact. So on the outside panel here, there are two T30s underneath the door cup. There's a T30 behind the door handle, and there are two T20s on the bottom of the door panel, and then that will pop right off. They're pretty difficult to pop off. Damn, I actually should have thought about this before. It's actually easier to take this door panel off when it's on the vehicle. That way it gives you a little bit of something to pull against, but we're gonna try it anyway. So once you get it popped, I actually recommend you starting like where the harness goes in. You can get your finger back there and pull. Once you get one popped, the rest pop pretty easily. Once you get to the top, this actually hooks into the weather stripping, so it goes down. What you want to do once the sides and the bottom are loose is you just want to grab that handle and pull up. One electrical harness down here for all your window switches and door locks and things that are up here, and then you have these two cables that run to your door lock and your door handle to open your door. So you're just gonna disattach all three of those, and then this panel is removed. Now once you're back in this panel, you can see around the edges here there are a whole bunch of T10s that hold this panel on, so you're just gonna go ahead and remove those. Alright, so I already messed up. I'm only human, but I did forget one thing. When you're inside this door panel, there's actually these two plugs here, and you have to take them out. You can see there's two 10mm bolts in there. Those are the actual window motor, and that's what makes the window go, you know, up and down. The problem is when you have the window all the way down, these brackets actually hide behind here. So before you take your doors off, I recommend rolling your windows up about 4 or 5 inches, and that'll be actually almost perfectly center with where you need to take them off. But you do need to take these two hinges off to be able to take this panel off. I knew that, but I forgot that I had to roll the window up a little bit. Once you get these two 10mm off, get in here with a pick or your finger and pull those two prongs backward, and then do the same for the blue side here, and then you should be able to slide your glass all the way up. And then what I'm going to do is tape that so that way the glass doesn't fall back down. So now, as you can see, I have it taped up. I have this panel off. Actually, it's just enough. I don't want to take all these wires off, and then all you have to do is take out these two 10mm, and this will slide in, and you can actually reach back here and pull it out. So now all we have to do is do the opposite and put it all back together. I took all 4 doors apart already. They're pretty much exactly the same, except for on the rear doors, there's only going to be one of those T30s underneath the handle, and then one of the 10mm that's holding on the window. And in the back, you can get away with just rolling the window about halfway up or a little bit more, and it will give you enough space to reach through that plastic and around the frame to pull the hinge out. I have them marked, so in case I ever want to put them back on, so I have passenger rear, passenger and driver. Now the only difference between these is you can see the front two on this side here are just a little bit longer than the rear ones. So there we have it. We always has to ruin the shot with this big green truck. That is how you get the door hinge out. But I did discover something else. To anybody that has a JK, they do know that that cowl piece always gets dented. This one right here, this is the one I'm talking about. So because they didn't have these hinges in here, when they took the harness off, this door would always swing and catch, and the mirror would actually hit this cowl piece. But they actually did move the mirror up, and you can see, well, I can't open it all the way because my wife decided she wanted to park so close to me. But you can kind of see here, when I test fitted the door and swung it open, this actually does not hit this cowl piece anymore, and this won't actually hit either. The first thing that will hit when these doors swing open without the harness will be, actually it's right here, the body of the door will actually hit the fender first, and then second will be the hinge on the fender up here. If you have painted fender flares, I mean, even if you have black fender flares for that matter, be careful because the door will swing and hit these fenders first. If you have wider wheels, I have discovered that the door will actually hit the wider wheels. So if you have a wider wheel or a different offset and stick that wheel just out a little bit more, the body of the door will actually hit the tire before it even hits the fender flare. Now all I have to do is get this paint fixed up because, oh my gosh, I can't stand how bad those tore that up. And let's see, yep, even on this back door, real bad. So I need to touch those up next, and then we will move on to the next project, but hopefully I can get some touch-up paint. I know this color's fairly new for Mopar, so I'll have to get in touch with Randy and all the guys over there at Cowl, see if they can hook me up with some touch-up paint. So that wraps up today's video, guys. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I'll try and get back to everybody that I can. If you haven't been here before, please give me a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. There are a lot more videos coming. There are parts coming in daily. I just decided on a lift kit, some wheels and some tires, so those should be coming in within the next few weeks here, and we'll get those mounted and balanced and on the Jeep. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Mohit Ohio. A lot of good content over there. I post a ton of pictures. I post my story almost daily, and you guys get to see a little sneak peek of behind the scenes and when I get parts in and what videos are going to be next. So thanks again, guys, so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Like I said, a ton of content coming your way soon. And oh wait, if you haven't noticed, I did tint my running lights, so that looks a lot better as well. But again, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.